Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'd like to talk about arpeggios on the guitar, and not really arpeggios like you're probably thinking of, two-octave basic fingering arpeggios. They might be basic fingerings, but they're going to be aimed towards smaller pieces of arpeggios in solos and how to use them practically. So before we get into that, I just wanted to explain why there haven't been videos lately. I apologize for that. Over the summer, I was trying to get 1 or 2 videos a week, which was working pretty well since I had the time. And then my car broke down. Would have been more expensive to fix than to find another cheap car. And I was without a car for 3 weeks, lost income that way. It's just been, it was very tough for the rest of the summer. And then this month I ended up in the ER with some kind of mystery health issues. I don't know what's going on exactly. I have neurologists and cardiologist appointments and stuff like that. But it's been tough, so I apologize for not being around. But just a lot of stuff going on and not good stuff. Related to that, if you'd like to help out, Patreon is down below as always. And related to that is I also wanted to mention that somebody had asked, I've had this more than once, could we get materials? Could you put up fingerings on the video and things like that? At the moment, I'm not getting anything for these videos other than, wanting to help out, which is worth it in its own right. But there, ever since YouTube demonetized people under 1,000 subscribers, I haven't gotten anything for these videos. So hopefully eventually, if this can become sustainable either through Patreon or eventually through YouTube, then I would be more than happy to take the time to put up fingerings and edit the videos to have them or offer them as a download and things like that, and transcribe what I'm playing and all of that. But right now, even just recording these videos, which seem probably extremely minimal compared to others, I know they are, but it's been like over an hour of setting up and getting this ready and stuff so far. And I have, it takes some time just to do this. And since I'm, not getting anything monetarily from it, I just can't justify putting the time into editing with tabs on the screen and stuff like that. So I hope you understand. I know that maybe some people are not thrilled about that, and I really apologize that at this time I can't do that. So, but feel free, if you don't know about it, you can slow down the videos, put it down to 0.75 times speed, 0.5 times speed. I'm still going to try to let you know what I'm playing. I'll tell you, but I just can't transcribe if I'm taking a chorus of a song to demonstrate. I can't sit and finger it all out and edit a video like that right now, just with the way it is. So hopefully someday. All right, let's get into it. Very often, if I have a student come in, a new student, and I say, play me a G7 arpeggio, they're going to go through either for 1 octave, and if it's 1 octave, it's almost always down there, or they'll play a 2-octave arpeggio. Fretboard knowledge, that's great. We can correspond those to the 5 shapes that we've talked about in the past, and that's really good for knowing the fretboard. However, for soloing, that's not muscle memory that's going to be that useful, because very rarely do we hear people soloing using just these notes. I think it's kind of essential that we do practice them that way, but it's not really geared towards being able to solo using that muscle memory, right? So what we end up having to do is reduce these down. You can either do this purely from figuring out 4-note or 3-note arpeggios on their own, or take them away from those traditional arpeggio fingerings. So for example, if I just take these from the 4th string, we have 5th fret, 4th fret, 3rd fret, and then 6th fret on the same string for those 2 notes. That alone is going to be all arpeggio notes. That's all that was. And I know I was going leading up by 1 fret, which is something I was going to mention later anyway. But let me remember what I just did there. So if we have 5, 4, 3, 6, and then 5, 5, 5, 5, 3. That part is just relating to C7, the third of C7, the root of C7, and a seventh of C7, the flat 7. Now, let's just use that as an example. Let's add one more note, so we have 4 notes. That would be the next note below it. Let's say that that was unfamiliar from the 4th string, 5th fret, next string, 3rd fret, 5th fret, next string, 5th fret. You could relate that back to a traditional C7 arpeggio fingering. So 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, 6th fret. All of that, though, probably not going to be used in a solo. So just choose a note in that arpeggio to start from. In this case, let's start from the 5th, and then play 4 notes up in the arpeggio. And all of a sudden you have something that you can use in a solo. If this is something that's unfamiliar, if you play those 4 notes and it's like, oh, that's nice, I've never played that before, then start taking it around the neck. Bonus points if you know what key it is as you go. D flat, D, E flat, that's good to know. But even just moving it, all the way, 1 fret at a time, you do 2 frets at a time. Any combination, descend down the neck as well. It's just to get the muscle memory so that this starts popping up as you're improvising. You don't have to always play the same thing as well. All I did there is, instead of going all the way back down our 4-note arpeggio, that note that we started on, to just not play the last note and start the next, start the sequence, move up instead of playing that last note. So if we have up, up, or 1 fret, all of a sudden, this is also demonstrating harmony, right? Because we're playing arpeggios, our ear is hearing forgive my singing, you get the point. All the way up. So I think that covers that part of what I wanted to talk about. The next thing is how to structure these. The way we've been doing it here is just taking them however they appear in order. So like this arpeggio fragment ended up with 1 note on 1 string, 2 notes on the next string, and 1 note on the last string for our 4 notes. However, if we can order these to be 1 note on 1 string, 1 note on the next string, and then 2 notes on the same string. This is not really an efficient fingering, right? So frets 5, 3, 1, and 5 on the same string. So why would we want to do that? It's because that's not really a good one for me. So the point of that is that now we can sweep, let me leave out the grace note, down, 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 up. And some of these expose what I don't do. This is not what I would usually probably do. So maybe then I would personally take this and practice. Up 1 fret at a time, 2 frets at a time, back down, let's see, where was I? Or down 1 fret at a time. And all of a sudden, this is a way to add some speed into a solo when maybe we don't have the capability to play really fast single note lines, but we get these bebop kind of vocabulary things with these sweeps on the guitar going up and having a target note. You hear this from, I think I've said this in the past few videos, it just always comes up, I guess. But Wes Montgomery does this kind of stuff a lot. And I don't know that he always fingers it that way, because there's not video of a lot of the solos I've transcribed from him. But very often it will end up where it's single note, and then two notes on the same string. Or alternatively, we might have two notes on the same string. Let's go up, let's see here. Let's just do it on G, 5th fret, because this is one that he does quite often. So this is 5th fret, 8th fret on the same string, 4th string, and then go across 7th fret, 6th fret on different strings. For this one, we can go up, down, down, down. And you can also resolve it to another note. You can also go up and add a second note. What solo is that? The Unit 7, the solo on that. You can look up that solo. I know plenty of people have transcriptions of that with the fingerings and all that. But that's just an example of, so two notes on the same string. I'll give you fingerings for this. 5th fret, 8th fret on the same string, 7th fret, 6th fret. And then he ends with two notes on the same string up on the 10th fret. And then 11th, 12th on the same string, string 3, 11th fret, 10th fret, 13th fret. Sorry, I hope this wire isn't making noise. So that just came to mind, I guess. So two notes on the same string, the reason that will work with the pick, I have no idea with the thumb, is that we can go up, down, 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 up. Let's do that back with the arpeggio we started with. G7. Let's do what I was talking about, leading in by 1 fret. You could just slide up. Slide, down, down, up. So down, slide, down, down, up. Or, let's say, you can kind of test these out too, and just see what you like the sound of as the extra note. If you're not sure, let's go up actually as well. Let's start now, so we still have 4 notes. Let's start from the second note of the arpeggio we've been using, the note B, 4th fret, string 3. So we're just not playing the G below. And now let's say we don't know what to add after that for the 4th note. You could just stop there, but if you don't know, just start adding notes in position on the next string. And then there's the root. You don't have to know that's the root, by the way. This is all just what you like the sound of. Going up a fret, 4th fret. That one's a little dissonant. It actually makes a diminished arpeggio, and it lands on the flat 9th if we're thinking relating to G. If we go up 1 fret from that, that's the 9th, sharp 9, and that's out of position technically. So maybe you just found the 9th by doing that, and now you have a note that you have to add to your arpeggio fingerings, 4-note arpeggios. Let me play through a chorus or something and see if I've missed anything that might come to mind. I'll try to use what we've been talking about. Okay, sorry about that. Real quick, I was listening back and the vocal mic was having an issue with the vocal mic and the guitar line at the same time. So I'm gonna turn off the vocal mic while I do this and hopefully remember to turn it back on again. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so as I was going through, I wasn't necessarily even thinking of like how many arpeggios can I add in, maybe in the back of my mind, but realistically there are a lot of arpeggios in some people's playing, and it really does help, I think, with vocabulary, and it doesn't help as much, again, not to harp on this too much, that's fretboard knowledge stuff, right? That's not really going to give you muscle memory options for improvisation. So I hope that, I think I was just checking that my vocal mic was back on. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. I know there was a lot of stuff in there I was playing that I hit some substitutions and things like that, but the concept is what I'd like to get across with just when you hear things, even if it's, what did I do at some point? Something like that, this, 4-note arpeggio. It's all based around arpeggio, arpeggio, arpeggio. So it's really, it might be taking it up, adding some notes and substitutions and things like that, but the concept is not going to end up using too many different fingerings for arpeggios. In terms of materials and stuff like that, at some point maybe it would be helpful to just do an arpeggio fingering video, because that'd be quicker than writing it out and editing it into a video. In any case, I'll figure that out in the future. So hope you all have a great day. Hope you all have been doing well since last time I made a video and all that stuff. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.